Well, hi there guys, Mark here, welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new Honda CBR600RR. Stay tuned. All new CBR600RR. It's back and it's better than before, and straight off I can tell you now this bike is simply stunning to ride. So what we do is just going to run through all the specifications, go for a test ride around the country roads here in sunny Dorset in the south of England. It's a bright, sunny, cold winter's day, but nice to be out on the bike. Price on this is £10,529 currently on the website. It's packing a 599cc liquid-cooled 16-valve inline 4, and this bike sounds even better than before. The intake sound from the airbox is simply awesome. It's got a quoted 119 horsepower at 14,250 RPM, and torque is 63 Newton meters at 11,500 RPM. The engine does actually feel very flexible for a Sport 600. I will do some sort of roll-ons during the test to sort of show you how flexible this little engine is. Weighing in at 193 kilograms wet weight. Fuel tank is 18 litres. Honda are quoting 5.5 litres for 100 kilometres, which equates to around about 50 miles per gallon UK, so it's quite an economical engine considering its amazing performance. Seat is a very similar shape as past years, very narrow at the front, so it's quite easy to get your legs down. It's an 820mm seat on this. Just take a quick look at me on the bike. I'll put a cutscene in for you, and as a reference, I'm 5'7", 170 centimetres with about a 30-inch inside leg. I weigh about 75 kilos. Then you can compare that for yourself then. Okay, so when you sit on this, obviously it's a pure sports position, you know, low clip-ons, but you sit right into the bike. It does feel really comfortable, you know, all wrapped around the tank. Very nice position for obviously sports riding. I'm 5'7", 30-inch inside leg, and my legs are feet are pretty much flat to the floor. So that's good if you're not a tall rider, but if you were over 6 foot, you should have no problem with this at all. It's a very natural sort of sports position. Everything feels to hand. So a nice, comfortable seat, but the bike just feels beautiful quality when you get on it. Tyres, 120 on the front, 180 on the rear. We've got Dunlop Road Sport 2. Six-speed gearbox with an absolutely amazing up and down quick shifter as standard, so that's great. We've got a full suite of electronics on this now. Ride-by-wire throttle, colour TFT, Bosch 6-axis IMU. We've got 3 riding modes, 2 customisable modes. 41mm Showa upside down forks, which are fully adjustable, give an absolutely brilliant ride quality, very good indeed. And fully adjustable rear Showa monoshock tucked up in there as well. Got LEDs all round, very piercing bright headlights. Little detail, see they've put the indicators here on mounts, because you've got these, obviously you've got these wings here now. Superb braking on this, 4-piston radial mounted twin discs, ABS, traction control. Top speed on this is somewhere around 160 miles an hour. Come in this gorgeous red, also it comes in black. Let's have a little look under the seat cowl here. It's obviously not much space because it's got the exhaust under here. Virtually nothing at all, no space at all under there because you've obviously got the exhaust. Servicing intervals are very generous on this, 8,000 miles and 24,000 miles for the valve clearances. But just looking around the bike, as always, beautiful Honda quality. The paintwork is really deep. Attention to detail is great as always. So I say we'll look at the TFT in a minute when we get going. There's all your fully adjustable forks and all your switch gear. So anyway guys, let's do the test ride. CBR600RR, and doesn't that look absolutely stunning in this winter sunshine? So quite easy to swing a leg over. You sit right into the bike and straight away, wow, you know, the feeling of Honda quality is ever present as always, beautifully screwed together. So just run through all the dash here. We've got a cable clutch which is not span adjustable but nicely set anyway, moderate sort of weight to that, that's all good. You have your lap button, hazards, high and low beam, pass, select, mode, horn and indicators, fully adjustable suspension there. Span adjustable front brake lever which has amazing brakes this bike. Start and kill, so we're just going to turn it on. So full colour TFT, it's quite small but you can still see it absolutely fine. Loads of information in there. Got your clock, revs, speedo, gears, quick shifter off and on, engine temperature. We're currently on 1,800 miles on this bike. You can scroll through all your different modes here, mode 2, mode 3 and then user. We'll keep it in mode 1 which is the most powerful for this review, but say basically P1 is the maximum power, and you've got traction, 2, wheelie control and engine braking. You can also scroll across to change all this, average consumption, you can sort of change that there, so CBR600, you can change it to CBR, revs, throttle, angle, full throttle, voltage, date and time, so we're going to leave it on that one. Anyway, so we're going to start it up, and you've got that lovely smooth sounding inline 4, and for a standard exhaust it does sound very good. It's definitely got more of a sort of an airbox roar this now from models of past years. So anyway, away we go. Lovely smooth take up on the clutch there. So yeah, very sporty position on this, you know, you're really leaning forward, tucked right in. I'm more used to sort of upright bikes to be honest, but after sort of 15 minutes or so you do kind of dial into it, and the position really does make sense on this for sporty riding. So the quick shifter on this is absolutely super smooth, and never ceases to amaze me with these Sport 600s how much power they can produce. You know, this is punching, this has got a claimed 119 engine horsepower, and it feels so fit and healthy. It's definitely got a bit more power than the models of years gone by. Just going down that gearbox with the blipper, very slick and smooth. So we've got a cold winter day today, so I've got to take it a bit steady with these roads. So just going to try the quick shifter out. Yeah, the CBR is back, no doubt about that. This thing absolutely rips. let's just run through the bike in the usual way. Mirrors, you know, they're quite out there being a sports bike. I can see about 30% of my elbows, but still a pretty decent view behind. It's nice and clear, very smooth, no vibrations in those mirrors, so that's good. That little TFT is tucked up in there, but just a quick glance down I can see revs, speed and gear all very easily. Right, we'll just try the brakes out, nothing behind, just the front brake. Oh wow, now that is insane. And obviously the hazards flash under heavy braking. So second gear, there's your low revs into your bulging mid-range. It absolutely takes off at the top there. So this is one seriously quick motorcycle, 160 miles an hour. But the way this thing just goes around the corners, it's, I mean, got cold roads today, but it just feels like it's on rails. The suspension is obviously on the sporty side, but it's so refined and plush. Just for a daily ride on bumpy roads like we've got here, it makes for a really compliant ride. Back brake's absolutely fine, it's got a good bit of bite to it. Got an electronic steering damper tucked into there. Down to fifth and just opening up, it pulls really nicely from 5, 6, 7. That airbox roar from down below is absolutely intoxicating. CBRs have always been one of the best all-round sports 600s. You know, you had the GSX-R600, the Ninja 600 and 636. Yamaha made the R6, which was very revvy, but I think the CBR has always been the best all-rounder, and this one now has got like added power and added sound, and what with the electronics as well, this thing absolutely rips. So it's going to go down the quick shifter, second gear, just to let you hear that's roar. Absolutely glorious noise. But just as a normal everyday ride, without going too crazy in top gear, this thing is so smooth. You know, even when you're at the maximum revs, there's no annoying vibrations. Honda have really nailed it again with this. Second gear. This thing would be absolutely amazing round a track. So fourth gear, 6, so much fun. But the feeling of the build quality and the way this thing rides is absolutely 5 stars. 2-finger braking, whoa, very powerful brakes. Not quite as instantly powerful as say like the Ninja 636, but still very, very powerful. So these roads are very slippery, winter roads, so much fun not. But you know, you've got traction control on this, ABS, it's all working in the background. So 5, 4, 3, 2 on that quick shifter. Blipper, absolutely lovely, and it just drives out the corners so well. It's got a lovely weight to it. It's nice and stable in the corners. Fabulous. What's the CBR like in urban environment in town? So we're currently just in third gear at the moment. I've got it still in power level 1. I have tried it in the other power modes. It's just a bit less power really. It's not a massive difference, sort of 5-10 horsepower less really. Throttle response is really nice. It's not snatchy. It's just nice and mellow actually. So second gear, just bimbling along under 3,000 revs. Absolutely immaculate, impeccable fueling on this. And it'll hold like fourth gear at 2,000 revs absolutely perfectly. And if you open it up, it pulls cleanly. Quite a bit of weight on the wrists, as you'd expect being a sports bike, but on the whole I've found this bike to be quite comfortable for a sports bike. Back brake's good for control at low speed. So first gear now, just literally trickling. Can't feel any heat from the engine. So second gear, if you open it, obviously it goes really well. But look, we're in fourth gear now, 25 miles an hour. See if it will take fifth. Really easy. I mean, it'll even take sixth gear at below 30 miles an hour. So look at that. Sixth gear, 30 mile an hour, just under 3,000 revs. And if you open it, it will pull. So there you have it, guys. The CBR600 is incredibly tractable and docile if you need it to be at the lower speeds. Alright guys, so what's the CBR like on the dual carriageways at the higher speeds? So first off, sixth gear, 70 mile an hour, just under 7,000 revs. Extremely smooth as you'd expect. I'll just drop it down 2 gears. Yeah, I can tell you that this bike is very, very smooth at all revs. So absolutely rock solid handling at this speed and beyond. If you wanted to do some high-speed cruising, this screen's quite low, typical sports bike, but it still provides good wind protection. So does the whole of the fairing on my body, so all good in that respect. Yeah, the wind's taking all the pressure off my wrists now, so right now it's really quite comfortable. So top gear now. Just going to open it up in top, and as you can see, it pulls very strongly and keenly. Just show you that again. Top gear, 60, wide open. So very, very flexible engine. Just what gets me is how rock solid the handling is. Absolutely amazing. No vibrations. So there you are, guys. If you did need to do some higher speed cruising, even some touring, I would say, with a backpack on, the CBR would handle it no problem whatsoever. So far, I've been absolutely blown away by this new CBR. The performance is absolutely electrifying. Beautiful handling, sure-footed. The steering damper works really nicely. The brakes are absolutely knockout. It's just as a package, a sports road bike, you know, is absolutely 5 stars all the way through. So I'm just going to try and show you a bit of roll on now. So we're in top gear at the moment. If I slow it down to about 40, wide open in top, so there's your 50 and there's your 60, and it goes well beyond that. So even though it's a 600, you know, it's still got plenty of roll on ability in top gear. Look, it's a very, very flexible engine. If I just drop it down to 4th for you, 40 bar an hour, open it up in 4th, and it absolutely flies. So that sort of 5, 6, 7,000 revs is still very impressive. Obviously when it gets near to 10 and above, it's like a rocket. But as just a general road bike, just for riding like this, it's got stacks of mid-range, and you will not believe how this thing corners. I'll just drop it down to 5th, again from 40. There we go, wide open, there's your 50, there's your 60. So far been absolutely blown away by this CBR. Every bit as good as it was years ago, and even better. More power. Obviously the electronics are a big step up for it now. Handling is just as good as it ever was. Absolutely superb brakes. This engine sounds absolutely glorious, but it's still everyday flexible. You know, you can ride this bike, as you saw before, you can ride it around all day long in top gear if you wanted to, but obviously it's not built for that. It's built for speed. So let's wrap it up here and take a look round. Right, so let's just see what it's like into first and then neutral, super easy as you'd expect. I'll put it into high beam so you can just have a little look at the lights. I'll give you a little sound check. Absolutely glorious. So there's your lights on high beam. Hope you can see those. You've got your sort of running lights as Honda always have, and indicators. So there you go, guys. What a piece of kit. As always, the Honda CBR600RR never ceases to impress, and this model is an absolute knockout. I mean, just look at that, absolutely stunning. So let's just run round it and talk about everything. So build quality, obviously exemplary quality from Honda, beautiful fit and finish, super smooth, you know, absolutely stunning. Riding position, obviously very sporty. I've been on this bike for over an hour this morning. I actually find it quite comfortable. Once you kind of get dialed into the position, it's okay. I'm 54 years old, but I can still sort of seem to ride these bikes for the moment. These Dunlop tyres proved to be very good today. Very cold, slippery conditions, but no problems with those. Brakes are an absolute knockout. Fantastic performance on those brakes. Suspension is really nicely suited to road riding. You know, it's sporty, but it's still got a bit of compliance there for the bumps. So off the side stand, it's quite light really. You know, it's not a heavy bike, and to push it about, back up the hill a bit, no problem at all. Look, so it's an easy bike to manoeuvre around. Star of the show, obviously this engine loads and loads of power, so fit, free revving, smooth at all revs, incredibly tractable, absolutely screams up to the red line. Highly intoxicating engine, especially with that improved airbox sound, so fantastic. So there you are, guys, the all new CBR600RR, an absolute weapon. More than enough power for everyday riding, probably the better choice really for most road riders than say going for the 1000cc missiles. You can use a lot of the power of that, and you know, compared to sort of some of the bikes that are like, you know, 15,000-18,000 pounds, 10 grand for that brand new, you know, it's pretty good value really for what you're getting. So guys, please post your comments down below. Don't forget to give me a like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in a week or so for another review. All the best. Bye for now.